and I was able to negotiate it down to 13.
What?
Yep.
19 to 13.
13,000
Oh
because
my
so
God.
I was able to get access to the property. They had a lockbox. I think that if I could just do creative financing, I will stick to that. If I
Creative
can get
financing is the
good
best
deals
way.
like that,
It
I'm
is the
like,
best way.
I don't
Subject
even want to
to
bother with the
rental
bank. Like, who
house.
cares? Having
Yeah.
to go through
Subject
all
to
that
rental house,
mess.
market
Even
rent.
with a long-term rental, it'll still cash flow like $300 or whatever. But I was like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
So
doesn't matter. And that's not what you're even gonna go for. You're gonna go.
I'm not there yet.
No, you're gonna be
I'm
there soon. The
just
scale,
in
like
the acquisition phase with my first one, but
yeah.
I'm pretty happy, and I think it was just God sent, and I'm just very thankful for being part of the class.
Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm excited to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Melissa, I'm so excited to have you here. Thank you for taking time to come and talk to me.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, I wanted you to tell the people when you started your mentorship. Like, when was the last class? Was it last class? Was it the one before? When was your
I
last?
took the one that started in September and finished October.
Wow.
So as soon as I finished the class, I was like, actually, while we were in the class, I was already trying to get my feet wet and,
Yeah.
join the Facebook groups and look around and, get some in contact with some wholesalers.
Mhm.
A lot of them were just, it was no good. Either they just weren't coming through or the properties just didn't seemed like something I was interested in.
Yeah.
But right after the class, I think it was like around October 16th. So that would have been right after we finished the class.
Yeah.
I started when I started joining the Facebook groups, right? I joined this subject to
Yes.
creative financing Facebook group. So I don't think we touched on it very much. We talked about seller finance, but I was like, you know what? Let me just because I had heard about subject twos also, so I was like, let me just join this group as well. I had joined like Florida off market deals and just a whole bunch of ones,
Yeah.
and was getting in the chats and this, that, and the other. And then when I joined this subject to Facebook group, they ended up posting something that was right in my backyard. And I was like, this looks interesting. And then, I was like looking at how much was the entry fee and just started getting all the information, started looking at, trying to get like the ARV and the rentals and just,
Calculating
do what
everything.
we talked about in the class and
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
And it just happened to be it was a low entry fee for me. So I mean, they were first starting off like an entry of like 20, I'm gonna say it was 19 or $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to negotiate it down to 13.
What?
Yep.
19 to 13.
13,000
Oh
because
my
so
God.
I was able to get access to the property. They had a lockbox. This was the sellers were it was a couple that I got it through a wholesaler, but they were already going into foreclosures pretty soon.
Oh
I
yeah.
guess they were backed up in their mortgage and nobody was buying it. So it was just sitting there.
Oh.
And yep, and then so it was like a win-win for everybody because
Everything.
I wanted something, and I think it was perfect because the location is great. It's close to a hospital. It's also close to a one of the like larger universities here. And yep, so I was like, I'm gonna do something with it, whether it's
Yeah.
travel nurses or Airbnb or
Yeah.
students, whatever. But I
Yeah.
know I can do something with
It will
that.
rent. Yeah,
Yep.
obviously you have multiple exit strategy options, so it will
Exactly.
market rent.
Even with a long-term rental, it'll still cash flow like $300 or whatever. But I was like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, and that's not what you're even gonna go for. You're gonna go for the higher, but
Exactly.
knowing that the market rent you're still gonna cash flow, which is great.
Mhm.
Can you tell
So
us more about the property, like how many bedrooms and all of
it's a
that?
3-2. It's a
Okay.
3-2. It's a bungalow. It's an old house, but it was recently renovated in 2021. So I didn't really have to do much to it. It was just a shower that was apparently when they did it in 21, it wasn't done correctly. So I had to have it fixed. There was a leak. So
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why
Oh, you
the
froze.
surgeons were like fix the shower. So they just decided to move somewhere else and let it go.
Yeah.
So it's a 3-2. It's located close to downtown Lakeland, Florida.
Mhm.
And it's about 100 years old, but like I said, it's been renovated. All I had to do was update the flooring because they
Yeah.
had some of the floor joist was messed up,
Mhm.
the shower, and then just, some fresh paint here and there.
Press paint and
Just a
just
couple of
cosmetic work.
things,
Yeah.
cosmetic stuff, nothing major. I did have to put I ended up opting out for putting a termite tent on it because
Okay.
since it's so old,
Yeah.
I brought in
Yeah.
a pest control inspector, and I just didn't want it to, since those houses normally that wood is from like
Yeah.
technically like literally 100 years old.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just included all that in my budget. So those were some of the things that I negotiated with
This-
the sellers, with the wholesalers. I was like, hey, it has termites. It has a bathroom that doesn't have a
Yeah.
permit. I'm gonna have to
You
tear
took
that
all the
bathroom
point.
down.
You took.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna have to take that bathroom down. It has no permit. It has
Yes.
this, it has that, and she's like, oh, so they were like right on the day where their deposit was gonna go hard. So they're like,
Mm.
either they cancel right then and there, or they move on with what I had to offer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I offered them. I said, she was like, no, but can you do 16? I was like, no, I'm sorry, 13. And I
13.
said,
Yeah.
that's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, fine, like, and that's it. So I put it, so 13,000 plus closing. And then whatever the renovations are, which are estimated to be between 10 and 15,
Yes.
including like we just changed the whole brand new floor.
Yeah. And because you're adding value to the property, makes
Because we're
sense.
adding value.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
You're
the
adding
ARV
value.
is supposed, so I bought it for 248.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Okay.
remaining balance of 237, and the interest rate is 3.625%
What?
because they bought it in 21 when the interest rates were low. So
Below. Oh my
so
God.
my
Super good.
mortgage payment with already, since I already updated the insurance policy to a landlord policy, that
Mhm.
brought down the payments by a
Yeah.
lot because
Yeah.
their policy was, I don't know what they had, but it was a lot. And so it's only $1,600, and it's 1,650. And it's supposed to, like, a long-term rental, it's about 19 to 1950. That's not doing the short term. So
Yeah.
it's
That's
already cash
short term
flowing.
income. Yeah.
And the ARV is about 3 to 320, around there. And I bought it for 248.
248. That's
Yep.
amazing. And after you increase it, after you do the value, it might after you do the renovation, the value might actually go up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it would
Yeah.
definitely.
But you know what? I'm keeping it. I'm not selling it. So I'm like,
Yeah,
you know
but
what?
it's good
I'm
to
not.
know. Yeah,
And
it's good to know.
I have a loan with a low interest rate. I don't feel, I'm not gonna
Nope.
refinance right now.
No.
What?
I don't think you ever should refinance.
No,
Right?
exactly. So I'm like, you
Yeah.
know what? Forget it.
No,
So
that's
now I'm
dope.
just in the process of finishing. I'm gonna get it. I hired an interior designer for the Airbnb furnishing because
Yeah.
I'm really bad with that. I'm
Design. Yeah,
like,
that's good. That's good.
I'm a minimalist at my house, so I try to keep it very, and I know that's not what everybody is, and the
Yeah, no,
Airbnbs, they
everybody,
look
you
for
want to
other
stand
stuff.
out. Yeah, it's good that
So
it's still an investment. It's still an
yeah,
investment.
I put it also as part of my investment because I was like, you know what? Even if I'm investing this money now, I can just this furnishing and just use it for all my Airbnbs or my short-term rentals.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to now think anymore. I can just use that plan, what she's
Yeah.
designing for me.
You can change the color of the next one, right? Everything
Exactly.
the same,
Just
the
change the
color,
color.
just buy the same thing. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's amazing. I'm so proud of you. Okay,
Yeah. So it's
so
been great. Like the class was amazing. I learned so much stuff. I think it was just like I've been doing research for so long, right? And it was just like a compilation of everything that I had heard from so many different sources
Mhm.
into one, like, I don't know, it just put all the information together,
Mhm.
and I can walk through the steps one by one as we went through the class,
Yeah.
and that's how I was able to take that first step
Mhm.
without being fearful.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you're always you never feel 100% ready,
Yeah, you
but
never.
at least I could just take all that, go back to my notes, go back to the videos,
Yeah.
say, okay, here and there, connect with the people, some
Yeah.
of the classmates I've
Mhm.
kept in contact in, and just, and just be like, okay, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And it's been great. So hopefully it's just the beginning.
It's the beginning, right? May God like guide you through every step. maybe next year, well, not maybe, next year when we're talking about multiple doors, and we're thinking about our first
Exactly.
deal. We're like, remember how scared I was in my first deal? And
Mm-hmm.
it's always going to be scary because the more you go, it's more money because you're scaling faster as well. So it's always going to be, oh my God, am I scaling too fast? Am
Yeah.
I doing the right thing? It's always going to be like that, but you always trust
Mm-hmm.
it. It's like, that's how I felt my first deal, but it worked out. That's how I felt
Yeah.
my second deal, but it worked out. So you just
It
keep,
worked out.
yeah, you
And
keep
then you
going.
learn along the way also. I mean, you keep learning, you know, it's
You
not
do.
like it's just an ongoing process. And there's a lot of things I've learned even through just, you know, with this first deal and
Mhm.
the whole creative financing thing. I haven't gotten to I think that if I could just do creative financing, I will stick to that. If I could
Uniform
get
is the
good
best
deals
way.
like that,
It
I'm
is the
like,
best way.
I don't
Subject
even want to
to
bother with the
rent
bank.
from
Like, who
home.
cares having
Yeah,
to go through
subject
all
to
that
rent from home.
mess?
Yep. It's good. Like eventually, you don't need the bank. Do you know that? Eventually, you will not need the bank.
Right.
Yeah, because you can do seller finance, and sometimes you can take your own funds and be your own bank, and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, and there's a
And
lot
then,
of people that they buy, you know, subject to, and they wrap, so they sell it right back at a higher
yeah,
interest rate, you know, and
yeah.
do seller financing with someone else. But
Mhm.
well, I'm not ready yet. I'm not there yet.
No, you're gonna be
I'm
there soon. The
I'm just
scale,
in
like
the
the scale is
acquisition
going.
phase with my first one, but you know,
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy, and you know, I think it was just godsend,
Yeah.
and I'm just, you know, very thankful for being part of the class. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank
Mhm.
you so much. Thank you so much. Now, I don't take much of your time. Thank you for taking time to talk to me. I appreciate
No
it.
problem. Thank you so
All right.
much. Have a good one, and good luck on your new deal.
Thank you.
Your new 12 unit.
12 years. Thank you. I'm actually traveling the weekend to go meet with my team because they already
Go and
started.
look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah. Well, thank you
Mm-hmm.
so much. I'll keep you guys posted on everything.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Take
Bye.
care. Talk to you
Bye.
later. Bye bye.
Bye.